Hey, good morning from rural Japan, folks. Thanks for tuning in again. So yet again, if you watched this video before, it's that time of the day, early in the morning to take out the garbage. But while I walk over there, I wanted to just kind of discuss something real quick. But actually, check out these beautiful dragon lilies that are growing all over our property. And yesterday I learned that in Japanese they're called higanbana, by a really nice lady that has a garden up over here on this side. You have one more? So there's Choco, tell me I have one more. Okay, let me go back and get some more. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So one thing that I wanted to talk about real quick as we're walking over there to drop off the garbage and kind of show the change of the vegetation that's coming up here. And then here in a minute you'll see that the farmers are starting to harvest the rice. Really nice. Again, what I want to talk about is the Akiya situation here in Japan and the aging population. So this weekend we had our first community meeting, which is basically actually twice a year you get together to clean up the little community center that's right behind me, where we throw away the garbage, which is that white little building straight over there. And it's basically for the owners, not necessarily renters, but owners around this neighborhood. You get together and they discuss different projects coming up. They were discussing a festival and different other activities like cleaning up the shrine, the local shrine, and so on. But I could not help but to notice, quite frankly, is that the let's see, there was probably about 20 some people there. I'm in my early 50s and we were one of the youngest ones. There was another young family with a little girl, but that was about it. So I just couldn't help but to think, you know, gosh, what is going to happen with this area, let's say 10, 15, 20 years from now, if people don't relocate to rural Japan and start populating this beautiful areas. I don't know, it's just, it's been on my mind for, you know, well over a week now. I mean, I always kind of knew about it, read about it, but now, you know, we've only been here several months, but it kind of hit home a little bit, just, you know, by watching. But they're all there, very dedicated. Right there in the back you see this little like a little backyard, I guess. There are several older gentlemen that showed up with the hoses, brooms, ready to work. But for the most part, they just kind of sat around, not because they did not want to participate, it's because really they really couldn't do much, but they were still there. That kind of shows their mindset and dedication. But oh, and another thing they also talked about was the lady that introduced us. She actually introduced us to the neighborhood and pointed out that we bought the house that was in Akiya, and she actually requested that if they had an Akiya to please list it in the Akiya Bank, which is normally kind of ran by the city hall. And that's another problem, Akiya banks, is that, let me see, is this my garbage too? Because the other day, god dang it, it is my garbage. We forgot, what did we do? See, this happened again. The other day, I brought garbage incorrectly, and now we got the note of shame. I gotta take this back with me because I know this is ours, because I recognize some of it. Sorry, folks. Well, this will be my second video of the walk of shame with my garbage. All right, obviously there's still a lot more to learn in our neighborhood. Folks, adapting to rural Japan and living in Japan. Akiya banks are ran by the city hall, but they don't do a really good job about it because there's really no financial incentive. But yet someone eventually needs to take over, you know, these houses. I mean, there's already a huge problem. They say that there's right now anywhere between 8 and 10 million vacant houses throughout Japan, whether they are abandoned or they're just vacant because the kids moved on or the parents died. So it's just gonna get worse. So in a way, by what we're doing is that I really enjoy interacting with everyone, even with our low number of subscribers. So if you're watching and wish to subscribe, please do so, because in a way it kind of helps spread the word. And I'm just trying to do my part to educate people, show people that it's very possible, if you're a foreigner, that you can live in rural Japan. In a way, you have a much better quality of life. I understand you have to have a means of living. So there's different ways, whether you are, well, if you're retired, or whether you get a visa, say teaching English, or another kind of trend, or really something relatively unknown is the business visa. And I talked about the Benton Homestead folks. They are going through that process, so check them out on their YouTube video. And she actually just posted some pretty educational information about it. So yeah, go over there and check them out. I'll provide the link below. But they're going through that process. I've talked about it before. In my situation, I work for the US government, so I am SOFA status, but eventually that will, you know, that will run out when I quit working. But then, I mean, there's so many different advantages to me about living out here. So I'll give you an example. Here for the past couple of days, I've been out here cleaning out because the weeds just keep growing. So that could be an advantage or disadvantage. So anyway, so I've been cleaning up. Normally when I start cleaning, I start with this path that goes all the way down the house right here, because this is kind of a public path. I'm not quite sure if it's where the property line goes, but it's somewhere around here. But anyway, so it's shared property. So I have folks that come down here, and the lady that tends to this garden right here, she was one of the ladies that was part of the meeting the other day. From right here, she was standing up here, and I'm like way down over there, weed whacking. And I can hear that, well, I can tell that she's trying to say something to me, but I couldn't hear because of the noise. So I turned off my weed eater, and we started talking. And so again, she was apologizing for and thanking me for cleaning up this section right here, which I guess is kind of like, I don't know if it's her responsibility or not, but she said that you know, every time she's gonna come and clean it, by the time she comes to it, I've already gotten to it. so then she was offering me some vegetables, if I wanted some vegetables, and I politely said no thank you, because we're getting ready to go on a trip in the next 2 days, so it'd be motanai, it'd be a waste. But for sure next time I will definitely take some. And so again, that was one of those other benefits, that you start forming these relationships with with your neighbors, and you start receiving a lot of stuff. And the same for me. I have lots of fruit trees. It's like over there we have a Akiya persimmons, and it's full of it, and we have some more down the hill. They have kiwi and chestnuts, and I've talked about that before. But anyways, I just give them away. Like the other day, the gentleman that tends to this big garden that's over here, let me just go ahead and peek to his garden. He had some let's say call them city folks over here, because you could tell by the attire that they're not from around here. But yeah, so anyways, there's a young family over here, and they were picking some sweet potatoes, and I asked them, hey, do you want some of my persimmons? And they gladly took some, and they took some figs as well. And then he immediately turned around and gave me some sweet potatoes that they just finished digging. So yeah, that's pretty much the way it works around here. You start forming those relationships. And then the other day I started talking about I received a bunch of free wood from one of my Japanese teachers. He lives nearby. He just stopped by and said, hey, we just cut down the tree. Do you want the wood? Absolutely. All free. It's like, hey, take your time. 1 year, 2 years, whatever. I don't care. Yeah, thanks, folks. Thanks for tuning in. So I just wanted to kind of get that off my chest and encourage people to please look into living in rural Japan if you don't mind. I mean, there are many pros and cons, like I just said, but if you are going to do it, you might want to consider a place that is somewhat close to civilization as well, such as this place right here, which happens to be Miwa in Yamaguchi Prefecture near Iwakuni. We have a hospital, and we have a new hospital coming, and buses that go to town then will lead you to the train or the airport. You can easily get to Hiroshima as well. Those are the types of things that you need to look at when you are looking for your future property. All right, folks, so again, if you have any questions, please message me. I really do enjoy interacting, and if someone has sent me a message and I have not replied, please send me another one, because I really do take pride in trying to answer, acknowledge everyone's comments. Because if you're going to take the time to comment, at a very minimum, I can reply back and say thanks. All right, folks, so again, thanks, and have a great day. Bye.